Will monthly cash payments like monthly stimulus checks, guaranteed income, or universal basic income actually be counted as income and potentially jeopardize other monthly benefits like Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB benefits? This is actually a really good question that many of you have been reaching out to me asking and wondering if I can make a dedicated video talking about this because you're very concerned. I get it. So we're going to talk exactly about that in this video, so let's get into it right away. Hey everybody, welcome. Thank you for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video as it is totally free to do so. Thank you. I truly appreciate you, and let's talk through this. So over the last few days here, I've had a couple videos out talking about monthly cash payments. I also had a different video out talking about the differences between guaranteed income, universal basic income, UBI, and monthly stimulus checks. If you haven't seen those videos, I would say go back when you're done watching this video and check out those few videos from just a few days ago. They're actually pretty good, and the one video is a two-part series talking about an article that I pulled off of Bloomberg where they were talking about guaranteed income and universal basic income. Pretty good stuff right there in that article and those two videos. So just a few videos back, go back and check those out, and I can always link them down below in the description as well. All right, but the real question is, will they be counted as income? These monthly cash payments, if they just so happen to start, will they be counted as income? And do you need to worry about your other monthly benefits in jeopardy if these cash payments actually do start? It's a good question, and I know a lot of people are concerned about it, so let's talk through this. So here's the deal. Regardless of which one of these programs would actually be implemented, whether it's guaranteed income, universal basic income, or potentially even monthly stimulus checks, they're all essentially the exact same thing. Even though they have different names and they all serve a different purpose and they have different qualifications, they focus on different groups, for the most part, it is all essentially the exact same thing with a different name. Monthly cash payments is basically all it comes down to with these three different programs. But then it comes down to the question, will it be counted as income? The general answer across the board, no. No, it would not be counted as income, okay? So for those of you who want the answer, the general answer would be no, it would not be counted as income. Do you need to worry about your other benefits potentially in jeopardy as a result of these cash payments? Again, no, most likely not. The reason why, here's the thing, and this is ubiquitous among all three of these programs. Across all programs, this is pretty much the same, and that is they are no strings attached payments that are typically not counted as income, and they're not taxable. So that's the deal with UBI and guaranteed income. That's the deal with them. They are no strings attached payments. NSA, right? Yes, they are NSA payments, no strings attached payments. So the deal typically is these payments range anywhere between $500 and $1,000, and they typically go on for anywhere between a year and typically 3 years or 2 or 3 years, maybe 5 years in some instances. And that's all it is. If you qualify to receive one of these monthly payments, then that's it. You get the payment, no strings attached. That's it. You just get the money. It's not income. It's not going to count against any of your other benefits out there. It's just, hey, we know that you're within the category of being eligible to receive this. Here you go. It's a no strings attached payment. Use it for whatever you see fit to help you on a monthly basis. That's essentially the difference between these programs. And that's kind of the whole purpose behind the program, is to get people some extra cash on a monthly basis to help you out with whatever you need. Maybe it's food, maybe it's insurance for your car, maybe it's gas for your car, maybe it's clothes, maybe it's rent, utilities, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter for the most part. Now, there may be some programs, of course, that maybe have some kind of stipulations that say something like, maybe you need to report back to us every month and just let us know what you're spending it on. Or maybe they ask for a random survey, things like this. Maybe there are some stipulations, but for the most part, it's just literally no strings attached. You're qualified, boom, you got the money, do whatever you need to with it, right? That's for the most part. And the same thing. This even goes for monthly stimulus checks. If there happen to be monthly stimulus checks, it would be the exact same thing. Not counted as income. Typically, it's not taxable because it's a tax refund that's advanced to you. So it's typically the exact same thing. Now, again, Let's remember back to the few stimulus checks now that we've received already, the $1,200, the $600, and the $1,400 stimulus checks. Were those counted as income? No. Were they taxable? No. So yes, and they did not interfere with any other benefits like Social Security, retirement, disability, SSI, SSDI, survivors, VA, RRB. No, it did not interfere with any of those other benefits. It was literally a tax refund that was sent out in the form of an advance, just like the child tax credit payments that are going out, right? It is the exact same thing as those. So those are called child tax credit payments, but basically it's kind of the same thing as a stimulus check. It's an advance on a refundable tax credit. It's exactly what it is. Okay, so even though they're not called like stimulus checks, monthly stimulus checks, that's essentially what the child tax credit is. It's UBI, right? Pretty well. Yeah. Let me take that back. It's not really UBI. It's more like a guaranteed income because it's specific to people who are low income and have kids within the parameters of the age parameters, right? And their income needs to be under a certain amount, right? So that would make it guaranteed income versus UBI, universal basic income. Now, if those payments were going out to every single person, every single household who has kids regardless of income, well, then we would call it universal basic income, right? So there's a little teeny bit of a difference between the programs, but for the most part, they're all basically one and the same thing. Monthly cash payments. That's all we should be calling these things. Monthly cash payments. And it would encompass all of these different programs, right? Guaranteed income, UBI, monthly stimulus checks, all the same thing. So as we look back on the other stimulus checks, those were not counted as income. They were just straight up cash payments to help everybody out during the time. But realistically, they were more to help the economy. That's really what they were out for because they were called stimulus checks, right? Yes, they wanted you to spend them to stimulate the economy. That's the whole purpose behind them. Whereas the child tax credit payments are not necessarily stimulus checks because it's not necessarily to stimulate the economy, but rather it's to help out lower income people who have kids with just regular monthly expenses, right? So again, a very fine line, but there is a tiny bit of a difference if you kind of look into them, but for the most part, it's all essentially the exact same thing. So anyway, for those of you who have been concerned, reaching out to me, asking me these questions, asking me, do I need to be worried about my other benefits? If we get guaranteed income, if we get UBI, if we get some kind of monthly cash payments, do we need to be worried about our other benefits like Social Security? What about even EBT or the SNAP benefits or food assistance, rental assistance? Do you need to be worried then? Again, for the most part, probably not. For the most part, they are just straight up, no strings attached. That's about it, right? That's about it. So for the most part, no. But again, we would need to read the fine print on everything. You always got to read the fine print, right? You'd have to read the fine print to see if for some reason it says this payment may offset other benefits, or who knows, however they would have it written. Of course, as we see more details of these programs as they develop, of course, we will continue to keep an eye on everything, all the headlines, as well as the fine print. We have to know all that stuff because if you get a $500 guaranteed income payment and all of a sudden your SSDI is reduced by $500, well, that wouldn't make any sense, right? It's a wash at the end of the day. Or if you get $500 of, let's just say, guaranteed income, for example, but yet you lose your $16 a month of SNAP benefits, I mean, at the end of the day, you're still ahead, right? It would not be fun to lose your SNAP benefits, but at the end of the day, you'd still be ahead, $484? I mean, so it'd still be a net win at the end of the day. But of course, I'm just giving a couple examples. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just giving a couple examples of, situations. Anyway, hope that helps you out with your questions and concerns. But I will continue watching everything as I always do very, very closely. I will keep you updated as we get more information on any of these programs, proposals, bills, anything like that going on. I will let you know right away. Thank you so much for your continued support and, of course, for believing in me. I truly appreciate it. Remember, I am here to help you. I'm here to give you information and to keep you updated on a daily basis as things are changing rapidly, literally every single day. Thanks again, everybody. You're awesome. Hit that subscribe button right down below the video if you haven't done so already. And of course, go back and check out any of the other nearly 1,300 videos right here on the channel, as well as share them with your friends, family, and social media. Thank you. I truly appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you later.